just into 1967, we're still all right. Go on for a bit longer. I'll try to get to 68 at least.
And all that.
And all that, yeah. As I'll say this bit, as Erno Goldfinger said, "Excuse me while I kiss the sky," and began work on Trellick Tower, Jimi Hendrix was staying at 167 Westbourne Grove when the property was painted purple. You know, according to rock legend, returning from a UFO club trip one morning, the sight of the house inspired his second single. And I think that's like the day. I think it's like the same day that, say, British psychedelia was launched with the release of Pink Floyd's debut single Arnold Lane. Hoppy presented what's called the Death and Resurrection of IT International Times parade on Portobello, after the first of many busts by the Obscene Publication Squad. Also, well, in the tradition of Notting Hill street processions. But then Hoppy made his name as the alternative impresario with his next gig, the 41-act, 14-hour Technicolor Dream Human Being at Alexandra Palace. The psychedelic extravaganza featuring all the leading lights of the British hippie movement: Pink Floyd, Soft Machine, Arthur Brown. Security organised by Michael X. But yeah, just a bit more. I mean, yeah, John Williams has really covered this, and I think captured the compromise between Michael's autobiography and the really critical one. And I think you've got to say, you know, that Michael's story's somewhere in between. He ended up a total villain, although one time he was the hero, but I think it's somewhere in between. In 1967, Michael reinvented himself again from being a Notting Hill hustler, as kind of Britain's Black Power stroke Flower Power Messiah, and wearing a afro beard, paisley clothes, and famously appeared with Allen Ginsberg at a legalised pot rally in Hyde Park. Another one, please, William. We had, I think, some people went to see, just about to see the. I'm pretty sure it's the same shop that was Lord Kitchener's valet, became known as an Indian dog shop. There's various sort of dog shops named after the San Francisco place, but I'm not sure if it's in the same bit just after the Westway up Portobello. I think it's still got a bit of a hippie vibe. It's really known now for Honest John's. It's the one sort of musical connection surviving. It's trendy restaurants and expensive clothes shops, but there's still a bit of the vibe, I think, left. But this guy Melvin Wilkinson, a local history, wrote about Injun Dog in the hippie days. I can still smell the patchouli oil and incense that seemed to hang in the air of the shop, and indeed up and down Portobello Road. I mentioned Sergeant Pepper. Ed Volumi, the Observer journalist, he recalled the lure of the Portobello Road with all those Sergeant Pepper jackets outside Finch's, the Duke of Wellington pub. Still my local pub, though. It's pretty much a sort of tourist pub. In the wake of the first anti-Vietnam War demonstration in Grosvenor Square, a group of protesters turned up at. This is a group, the Notting Hill People's Association. It was a more serious version, a more community, but was kind of came out of, inspired by the London Free School, and all these sort of meetings happened at this old All Saints Church Hall, and the hustler the Black Underground paper, it's got North London connections, but was in '68 was based over in Notting Hill. Reported that various opinions at the meeting made for a vigorous, occasionally explosive atmosphere, from raffles to revolution, forcibly open the garden squares, resist rent rises, set up an alternative local government, encourage housing associations, set up cooperative community bank. All was suggested. It's time, said one man, we started a revolution in North Kensington. And I think they kind of did, in a way. That I mean, it didn't, but and it was just, it happened. It didn't happen in May '68, but in June, after I guess it was getting like more cars on the street. Several children were run over in the area. I'm not sure. I think some kids were killed, you know, but there was sort of accidents of kids just playing in the street. And there was a series of demonstrations organised by the People's Association, like culminated in this. And it was really, it wasn't a counterculture. It was a local mothers' march around the Paris Square block, just sort of off Portobello Road. That was still like